Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that. Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
When you're in top shape, you give a straight 400, 500 straight punches, you don't even got to trip.
Think about me.
That are never going to take place except somewhere in your mind.
But hell, you could have been the cash cow.
Listen, they don't think like that.
Floyd Mayweather's an all-time great. Terence Crawford, I think, will turn out to be an all-time great.
Every time it's a fighter from the past, from the present, or a fighter that's going to be in the future, they're going to keep comparing them
to pass the torch. Nobody passed the torch to Terence Crawford.
You took it.
Terence Crawford, standing tall at the very peak of his power, has left behind all whispers and debates. In one unforgettable live broadcast, he made his intentions crystal clear and absolutely terrifying.
Who's beating me?
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore.
I'm not worried about all that, my man. Floyd is undefeated. Nobody can beat me.
You already know that, man.
Is Floyd better than you? You were there. I'm talking to. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your
You knew I was going to pull up.
Okay, that's a no. That's a no. Floyd's not better than you.
This isn't just a call out, it's a promise. With a trail of dismantled champions behind him, Crawford has proven he's more than ready for a career-defining super fight, not one of Mayweather's flashy exhibitions. In his mind, the debate is already over.
I think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
It's turned into a battle for ultimate respect, and Crawford stands ready to seize the crown by sheer force.
Floyd was the B-side, and, he beat De La Hoya, and then he started.
Terence Crawford's recent dismantling of Canelo Alvarez was far more than a win. He entered the ring as the challenger and left it as the master, conquering yet another division. The fight became a display of pure boxing artistry, a brutal, calculated performance that left the world utterly speechless.
Yeah, we working. We working. On a holiday where I blow a lot. Getting in. Let's get it. Under the grace, do what we got.
Canelo Alvarez fight?
Yeah, I did.
Ooh, talk about slick. Oh my goodness. Who's ever done that? Who's ever jumped up 2 weight classes like that? It's crazy.
Scary.
He's so clever, and it got to the point where he got so comfortable, he's like pit-patting him, and then like, what? And you're watching, like, this is amazing.
Like, that's history, obviously. You shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
Undisputed greatest of all time, and do what you did. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
But the most explosive moment wasn't born from a punch. It came from Canelo himself, beaten, sitting at the post-fight press conference. The room froze in silence. With one sentence, Canelo did the unthinkable. He questioned the untouchable.
Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
At one particular time, I did talk about, I did say Terence Crawford.
Okay.
Now, but what are we rating these fighters on? What are we rating these fighters on?
Floyd Mayweather's eyeball test.
That works.
You're eyeballing these guys. You watch Terence Crawford. You know why he has his problem getting the other welterweights in the ring with him.
Instantly, the debate caught fire. Fans, analysts, and fighters all jumped in, with social media turning into a battleground of clashing opinions. Was Crawford's aggressive, switch-hitting brilliance really greater than Mayweather's defensive genius?
Mayweather never disabused himself of the understanding that he was a more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales. And that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. So
this public declaration inevitably reached the ears of the man long synonymous with perfection. Yet his first response felt almost unnervingly calm.
Just put on the show. One thing about me, I've heard it all. When I say heard it all, I mean been around the world, competed against the best. When you talk about the Olympics, I competed against the best. Whether it was the world champion in the Olympics, whether it was the Cubans, I competed against the best. No matter Mexico, the pedigree of the Mexico boxing is truly unbelievable, but I competed against the best. My Uncle Roger Mayweather, you talk about Julio Cesar Chavez, he's an unbelievable fighter. My Uncle Roger fought him twice. He came up short, but he fought him twice. And it's always about competing and going up against the best. So Saturday, it is what it is. I'm Floyd Mayweather. I've already faced
Floyd Mayweather, asked about the Crawford-Canelo bout, offered only a dismissive compliment. It's good for boxing. It was exciting. The best man won. He dodged questions about whether Canelo at 35 was washed up, replying casually, "Oh, I don't know." You know, boxing takes a toll on the body. It was classic Mayweather, controlling the story while seeming untouchable.
I say that Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend.
He added that Terence Crawford has proven his own greatness by convincingly beating top fighters like Errol Spence and Canelo, highlighting both his courage and elite-level skills.
No fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their era.
Even after stepping away from professional boxing in 2017, he still lingers as a ghostly presence in the sport.
Who do you think are the top 5 boxers?
Of all time. There's no disrespect to Floyd. I love Floyd.
No, I feel like...
But how am I gonna put down a person as the greatest person in the world that I competed against and felt that the world felt that if anything, it could have been a loss. I mean, he knew going toe to toe with me early was career suicide. He like, I'm not going toe to toe with this. Floyd's not on my list.
Okay, so had you not fought Floyd,
I'm pretty sure I'm not on his list either. I'm pretty sure, right? But I'm just saying, like, as I'm a kid from boxing, I came in the same era with Floyd, so he wouldn't be my idol. The people that I name are legends. These are people that I idolize, that paved the way for myself. Mike Tyson's career was phenomenal. Pernell Whitaker's career was phenomenal. Marvin Hagler's career was phenomenal. Sugar Ray Robinson's career is, come on, man. Like, yeah, Floyd is great. He's just not one of my top 5.
His name is always in the headlines. Whether it's a high-profile exhibition against a legend like Mike Tyson, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, or a public appearance that sets the rumor mill ablaze, he remains a master of staying relevant. A ghost who still casts the longest shadow over the boxing world.
crazy, like what goes on in today's time. And I want you to just notice this. You got Muhammad Ali. You know who they compare him to? Floyd Mayweather. You got Sugar Ray Leonard. You got, every time it's a fighter from the past, from the present, or a fighter that's gonna be in the future, they're gonna keep comparing them to Floyd Mayweather. people have to answer this question. If they keep comparing all these fighters from back in the day all the way to now, they keep comparing these fighters to me, that has to say something about me. I don't have to come on record and say I'm TVE. I don't have to come on record and say I did this, I did that. When it was my time, I did what I had to do. It's gonna be fighters that's gonna continue to fight. It's gonna be fighters that they're gonna continue to compare to me.
Yet beneath this calm, controlled exterior, the constant comparisons to Crawford appeared to hit a nerve. Behind the scenes, an even more volatile situation was quietly starting to take shape.
The former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather.
I'm not no former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. How am I not pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you're retired?
But have I ever been beat? I already forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brian Kinney, a guy who's never laced up gloves a day in his life. We already know what I can generate, and we already know who's the face of boxing.
The calm broke when whispers of supposedly leaked sparring footage between Crawford and Mayweather started circulating online. The details were hazy, but the message was clear. The two legends had secretly tested each other away from the cameras.
A Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford put together. Terence knows the language of the street as well as any other fighter. It's a very hard fight to pick, and I think it would depend on at what moment in Mayweather's career and at what moment in Crawford's career are we talking about that taking place. Obviously, we just saw what would appear to be the showcase Terence Crawford performance. Would you call Corrales the showcase Floyd Mayweather performance? Would you call Pacquiao the showcase Floyd Mayweather performance? I mean, where would you place that marker? Because I believe Floyd became a little bit more of a banker and was a little bit more conservative as he went along.
Terence Crawford, a fighter who values privacy and preparation above all, reportedly erupted in frustration over the leak, turning what was meant to be a private training session into public spectacle.
When you lose, the promoters don't want nothing to deal with you. No. That frees me.
The situation spiraled when reports surfaced that Mayweather, under the weight of the public debate, had fired back with a daring private statement that soon went public. This was no longer just a fan argument.
Like, we done seen Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar but very different.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I already knew it was going to happen. But I thought he was going to stop him in the 8th or 10th round. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Once again, man, what is it about the guy? What is it about Terence? Every time somebody thinks that he's reached a plateau, he steps it up higher. As soon as the ante goes up, as soon as the challenge goes up, he goes up.
That train.
What makes this story so gripping is the inner conflict within Crawford himself. In interviews, he has repeatedly called Mayweather the GOAT and recognized how Floyd cleared the path. You think of Ali, Roy Jones Jr., but he has also expressed deep frustration with the public and media, always pushing him to undermine Mayweather's legacy just to elevate. Warning wasn't merely a challenge. It was the breaking point of a man exhausted from being backed into a...
We criticize athletes,
but we can't do
for
it.
Stuff that we can't even do.
It was a pointed message, delivered with icy confidence. This was no longer idle talk. It was a challenge from a fighter who knows he's the best in the world, guided by a philosophy of unshakable self-belief and the relentless pursuit of his own unique legacy.
Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more. In a fight, I probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. They're definitely.
Terence Crawford has never been one to walk in another man's shadow. While he has always respected Mayweather's achievements, he has also made his own position crystal clear. Floyd was the greatest of his era, and I am the greatest of mine. Crawford has said, "There's no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me." This is an arrogance. It's the story of a self-made journey. No one handed Terence Crawford a golden ticket. As one analyst put it, nobody passed the torch to Terence Crawford. He took it. His entire career stands as proof of his overachiever mindset, a drive forged in the unforgiving streets of Omaha, Nebraska.
Just hypothetically speaking, just looking at, two fighters, you got Floyd and you got Crawford in their prime. Who you picking?
Can we all give an opinion on that?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I got an opinion on that too.
Coach, what you think?
I'm listening to you, Rep.
Floyd versus a prime Mayweather. We can go Pretty Boy. We can go Money May versus Terence Crawford in his prime. Who we got?
I think Money May would have shut Crawford down. He would have bored him to sleep like he do these fighters.
Yeah.
He would have jabbed him, hooked him, just sticking in the body. You know what I'm saying? And then when the fighters swing back, Floyd nowhere to be found. So mentally, they're draining.
Yeah.
And about the 6th or 7th round, that's when you start picking up, putting the combination together.
He's the first to acknowledge it, saying in interviews that he was never the most naturally gifted fighter. He saw others with greater innate talent, yet he chose to ensure that no one would ever outwork him. This belief that relentless effort could surpass raw ability is the engine driving his success.
It makes a little difference because, Floyd is different. I feel like, he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close, 2-3, and not by far. So, it's a little bit different things that Floyd does, and Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him, and it's just certain things that he does that, that's really tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose, and so I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. Just veteran stuff, just veteran all-time type stuff he was doing there. Basically, by far, I feel like he's the best. He's the best man.
Bud's career, right? It bloomed kind of late. I find Bud to be as defensively sound as I've ever seen a fighter. He can find you. There's nowhere to hide with him.
Like Floyd, he has such control over the terms in there. It's just...
His resilience is legendary, epitomized by the incredible story of him being shot in the back of the head during an argument, yet driving himself to the hospital. He survived, and that same unyielding spirit fuels his presence in the ring. He transforms every ounce of criticism, every doubter's voice, into pure energy. His fighting style is a fearsome blend of art and aggression, a master of switch hitting. He flows effortlessly between orthodox and southpaw to dismantle opponents. His reflexes are razor sharp. His counterpunching is devastating, and his jab, as the legendary Mike Tyson noted during the Spence fight, strikes like a battering ram.
I mean, they're not that separated in age, right?
I think Terence is 38. I think Floyd, I am not sure he's either 10 years older or 12 years older. I don't know if he's 48 or 50.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the best Floyd, so I don't think it makes sense. The exhibition
would be crazy.
Actually. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Exhibition would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I think that'll...
This relentless drive to dominate often puts him at odds with a boxing world still haunted by the shadow of Mayweather's perfection. The impact of Floyd Mayweather's flawless 50-0 record cannot be overstated. It created an obsession with the zero. And as Crawford himself explains, the rise of social media means a single loss can leave a fighter brutally exposed online. This fear pushes fighters to pick and choose opponents, protecting their records over testing their greatness. For Crawford, who actively seeks the toughest challenges, it has created a paradox. For years, as he cleared out the 140 and 147-pound divisions, the main criticism was that he was fighting nobodies. Yet when he finally landed his marquee fights and dominated them, a fresh wave of false narratives immediately followed. After dismantling Errol Spence Jr., critics claimed Spence was weight-drained. When he defeated Canelo, whispers suggested Canelo was past his prime. The most vicious attacks, however, were baseless accusations of performance enhancers. Crawford erupted at these claims, furiously defending his integrity and publicly demanding year-round, 24/7 random drug testing for himself and his opponents. This constant need to defend his greatness against shifting goalposts has forged unbreakable mental toughness. He absorbs the negativity and turns it into focus. But this very dynamic, the new king constantly measured against the old, may be exactly what could lure Mayweather out of retirement. Speculation about a professional Mayweather comeback has always simmered, but the Crawford situation has brought it to a boil. Could Floyd Mayweather, a man who meticulously protected his 50-0 record, really risk it all against a prime pound-for-pound killer like Terence Crawford? The answer may lie in Mayweather's most famous trait, his legendary ego. He has never tolerated the idea of anyone being better than him. The growing chorus of fans and now elite fighters like Canelo proclaiming Crawford as superior is a direct challenge to his entire legacy. While Mayweather could take on other opponents, a lucrative rematch with Manny Pacquiao, a fight against a vulnerable champion like Mario Barrios, or a crossover event with someone like Ryan Garcia, none of those matchups answer the question that truly matters. A fight against his former protege, Gervonta Davis, would be personal, but it still wouldn't silence the debate. Terence Crawford is the ultimate risk. He is the one fighter who could either cement Mayweather's status as the untouchable GOAT, or be the one to finally crack the code and hand him that first shocking defeat. It's a gamble that could determine the single greatest fighter of the 21st century. So, will the boxing world witness this unimaginable clash of titans, where an undefeated legend risks everything? Or is this destined to remain the most tantalizing what-if in boxing history? The tension is undeniable. We have the new king's knockout warning, whispers of a challenge born from a leaked sparring session, and the looming possibility of Mayweather breaking his professional retirement for one last epic showdown. The stakes are enormous, not just for the legacies of both men, but for the sport itself. In a world notorious for unpredictable twists and shocking turns, the line between an impossible dream fight and stunning reality can blur. It leaves fans holding their breath, wondering if this ultimate showdown, the collision of two eras of greatness, will ever truly unfold in the squared circle. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.